Welcome back, everyone. Lone Star Showdown is brought to you in part by absolutely no one because we do this shit ourselves. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm great, man. Texas got a big win against a ranked team.
Huge win.
Feeling good. We're bowl eligible for the first time under Sark.
Yep.
Couldn't be
And
happier.
you didn't blow a second half lead.
We almost did.
You
We
tried.
30 points in the first half, 3 in the second half. Second game in a
Yeah.
row like that. It's not good, but maybe this win showing that the defense can step up and get a turnover when they need it last drive of the game to clinch it. I'm hoping that brings some fire to the defense this week because we got the big boys, number 4 TCU coming in. So
Yeah, Austin's
I'm
already like buzzing
yeah,
because
I'm
game day's here for a second time this
yeah,
year, and
man. If I would have known this was going to happen, I would have tried to go to this game instead of the Bama game.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, probably been a more affordable game. Well, let's talk about last week real quick. Let's touch on Kansas State. So Texas takes a huge lead. I'm watching like from the concourse in the San Antonio Spurs Stadium, and um, like Texas takes a huge lead, and I'm like, oh, this shit's over. Like I'd start watching the Astros game,
not
and
so
then
fast.
yeah, I go back into the concert to watch the warm up, and then I come back out, and I'm like, what the hell? Like Kansas State's coming back, and I was just like, oh, here's Sark again, giving up a second half lead. I was like, man, Kyle's gonna be pissed off if they blow this one.
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, 31-10 at half. We're playing great. Had a turnover in the first half. I saw it coming as Roshan Johnson was running. I was like, he does not see that guy coming up behind him on his right, and of course he didn't. That's where the ball was. The guy just perfect textbook punched it right out. That was a great play by their defense. I love watching those types of fumbles where like that guy caused it. It wasn't like a random thing.
Yeah,
But they drove it all the way down, went for it on fourth downs, and turned it over. So I was like, sweet. We didn't lose anything. I mean, we probably would have scored, but as long as we score again, it'll be fine. And we did score again. So 31-10 at half. It was a great half. But Texas. Last year's 5 losses while up at the half. I think 4 with double-digit leads. This one was a 21-point lead, 3 touchdowns. So during the game, I tweeted, Texas is up three touchdowns at half. Buckle up, because I knew what that meant. And right out the gate, first drive, we're flowing, get 20 yards, then fumble, and then next play or next drive, we get a couple first downs, then we have to punt it, 3 and out the next one, drive all the way down the field on the next drive, and get a freaking field goal out of it. Should have been. We need points. We're cursed in the second half. We can't do 3 points and win. So I was mad. Next drive, 3 and out, and then when Kansas State had the ball one last time, they were driving and driving, got a couple first downs, and finally fumble Rooski. Game over. Thank the freaking Lord. That
yeah,
was it was gonna be bad if that happened. So big props to the defense. Bijan, I think he did his career high. I think his season high last year was against Kansas State, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Well, at least his first year it was definitely.
Yeah,
I think in his first year he had like a 200-yard game. That was like
yeah,
his like coming out party.
yeah. Maybe I was thinking it was big just because that was like our only team we beat last year. I don't know how we beat them. We lost 6 in a row and then beat them. So,
So this is your
um,
first ranked win of the year, but it's a big
yeah,
one. It's a huge
yeah,
one. No, ranked number 13, Kansas State. I
yeah.
mean,
And is on the road, and
hmm
it keeps us in the hunt for the championship, for making the championship game. So as long as we keep winning, everything will be fine. So
hey,
our last hard game is TCU.
yeah.
Baylor and
Don't
Kansas.
sleep on Baylor
No, Baylor,
or
Kansas.
Kansas. Don't sleep on
Baylor,
them.
Baylor and Kansas will be difficult, but not as difficult as TCU. TCU, they literally half of their games they have been down big in the first half and then come back second half. They're the opposite of Texas, so it's going to be very interesting. I think Texas will jump out to a really big lead at the half, but TCU plays really good in the second half, so I think it's going to be like a field goal game. It'll be close, and it'll be rocking at DKR, and game day will be there. We got recruits coming. You might know one of them or so. Uh, it's a big game for Texas. So I hope that the Kansas State kind of got the monkey off their back, no pun intended, from last year. And I hope we can, please, Lord, not blow a second half lead. So
Quinn Ewers doesn't throw 50 passes this game, and somehow completes about just as many as he did the last game. He threw 19 for 49 last game, and this game he was 18 for 31, I believe. And I mean, night and day. Like, you're not having to force the quarterback to throw 50 freaking passes, and look at what he does. There's 2 touchdowns and no interceptions as opposed to the 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions that he threw last time.
right.
Bijan Robinson got 30 carries. Like, just feed the ball to the guy that you know is going to get you yards, right? Like,
Right.
that should be the staple. I mean, I wish Jimbo Fisher would literally do that because he gave A-Chain the ball.
I was just gonna say, I know you're gonna talk about the difference between A-Chain in the first half and second half.
Yeah, no, A-Chain had like 107 yards in the first half, and in the second half he had 5.
Right.
Like,
You needed him in the second half, and I don't understand. Like,
yeah,
Tom Herman used to pull that shit all the time. I don't understand it.
yeah. So, but I mean, you see the night and day difference between Texas. Like, instead of forcing Quinn Ewers to throw the ball the whole entire game, and you're actually running with your running back. I don't think Bijan had 24 carries against Oklahoma State, which he had 30 against Kansas State. I mean, pretty similar like carry total, but I mean, imagine if you take the ball out of Ewers' hands instead of making him throw 50 times, you run the ball to Bijan and give him like 35 carries in that Oklahoma State game. You may not have, you may have had a better day against a Oklahoma State team that now looks very vulnerable, who lost to Kansas this week, if I don't believe.
Who?
I'm pretty sure Oklahoma State lost to Kansas this weekend.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, 37-16.
Yeah. With Sanders out, they can't do anything. So
right, but I mean, you could probably. I still think that Texas. I think Texas had a shot to beat an Oklahoma State team with Sanders.
Right.
Had you run the ball maybe 10 more times instead of just making Ewers throw for 50.
Right.
I mean,
he wasn't completing stuff. Why keep making him throw? He was he had the yips. Don't make him do it.
I see, and I don't understand that. Like, instead of like making, and I know what A&M's issue is A&M's issue is they're like, we'll just stack the box. All we got to do is stop A-Chain because we don't trust Haynes King to beat us and man up.
Yeah.
One-on-one, Haynes King's not going to beat us. The thing with Texas is make them do that. Make them run the ball with Bijan, make them go man up against Quinn Ewers and Xavier Worthy, and you're going to beat them deep all day. That's what y'all did against Bama to start the game before Quinn got hurt. And after that, it was just put pressure on Card and get him out of rhythm. But Texas played a hell of a game against Kansas State. They looked great in the first half. I mean, it's almost the exact same game as A&M played, but y'all didn't give up as many points as we did in the first half. So, and I mean, it is what it is. But y'all got a good win. College game day coming to Austin. It's gonna be wild. We'll touch on that here in a sec. Let's go ahead and jump into A&M versus Florida though, because let's rip the Band-Aid off. So A&M loses its 5th straight game. We haven't won a game since Arkansas.
And thank your lucky stars about that oink doink, because can you imagine what would y'all be like on a 7-game losing streak right now?
Hey, we're on a 5-game losing streak right now, so yeah, it'd be 6.
Damn.
And then
oh yeah, because
Miami was after App State.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Damn. Y'all would have 0 SEC wins.
0.
Thank your lucky stars. At least you have that.
Yeah, so shit ain't going like it's supposed to. In the first half, obviously A&M takes a great lead. Let's talk about what happened prior. So what we talked about at the end of the last week when we recorded late, A&M was looking like that they were going to lose a bunch of players to the flu. And what do you know? It takes out 6 players.
I told you.
We have another freshman starting on the offensive line that's never played a down of football before, or college football before at least. You lose one of your starting safeties to the flu, and another one, his starter was out, and then you lose that backup to the flu, who would have been your starter, Bryce Anderson. Then you lose your now starting quarterback, Connor Wegman, to the flu, and then you lose, I think, a tight end to the flu. Yeah, you lost Donovan Green to the flu. I mean, it's just, did somebody unearth like an Indian graveyard in College Station? Because like, if it can go wrong, it is going wrong.
I was gonna say, you know how they bury Reveille at Kyle Field? Maybe someone dug up something,
some grave robbers.
Yeah, and it's like tied to Reveille somehow, and now
we're just cursed for the
cursed,
season.
Yeah, until you get rid of Reveille or something.
Oh no, don't say that. Queen Rev. Queen Rev. I'm Team Queen Rev. So yeah, I don't know. The pandemic, like the flu, hit the locker room. Not the actual pandemic, because that happened a while back. But we actually did good during the pandemic. Yeah, so the flu bug hits the locker room. A&M's had, like they said on the broadcast, A&M's had to start, I think they said 33 freshmen and redshirt freshmen this season because of injuries or just needs at the position or the flu. Like all these different culmination of things has meant that A&M's had to start like this super young team. And it's just kind of wild that like in year 5 of Jimbo that we're facing this issue. It's kind of like just really terrible to like. I remember that being a Sumlin excuse. Towards the end of Sumlin's tenure, I think that was Sumlin's last year. That was his excuse. Like every game, it was like, "Oh, well, we have a really young team." It's like, Sumlin, you're in year 6, man. Like, you have a young team because you lost all your guys who would have been sophomores and juniors. Like you lost Kyle Allen and Kyler. That's what blew the hay out of the stack for me that year with Kevin Sumlin. I was like, I'm just done with this guy. When you lose 2 5-stars in a single week, I was like, that's where. And that, but he did bring in Trevor Knight the next year and got us up to number 4. After Trevor got hurt, the wheels fell off the wagon, and then you lost to the big game to UCLA. I mean, I'm not there yet with Jimbo. Obviously stuff needs to change. I feel like every coach goes through this in their tenure. Like I look back at Brian Kelly in his 6th year, he went 4-8. Then had to have a come to Jesus meeting with his athletic director and the boosters. And then Jim Harbaugh just recently, they negotiated down his salary because he 0-8 against his rivals or something like that. Hadn't beat Michigan State or Ohio State a single year. And then he finally hired Josh Gaddis. Brian Kelly made some changes in his coaching room. But I mean, we have plenty of examples of the good stuff that happens, but we have plenty of examples of the bad stuff that happens. Like, Tom Herman, in his last year, they were like, you got to make a coaching change. Okay, goes and hires an offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. And I mean, obviously COVID didn't help, but doesn't work out. And that was Kevin Sumlin's last demands, in his last 2 years. Jake Spavital doesn't work it out. You're losing coaches. Go find you a new offensive coordinator, and he finds a new offensive coordinator. He doesn't work out, and it's just that stuff always happens. You always want to like give the coach an opportunity to make a coaching change. Jimbo's never had to do this, so it'll be interesting. Like I said, after the South Carolina loss, the most crazy things that are going to the most interesting things that are going to happen to Texas A&M over till December are literally off the field. It's going to have nothing to do with that. What happens on the field? What happens on the field is just what happens on the field. After the South Carolina loss, you couldn't tell me that we were going to win all those games or lose all those games or just split them. At this point, we're still losing, and the most interesting things that are happening right now are happening off the field. A&M, Anthony Hill was in College Station this week and decommits. you still have a chance to get him back. The end of, he said to On3 that he's going to wait to pick somebody until signing day. So you still have an opportunity to hop in there. But let's call a spade a spade. If Texas keeps winning like they are, and if they have them in versus TCU this weekend, most likely you're going to lose that linebacker, and that sucks. To an in-state rival, to somebody who you're probably going to end up having to play in the SEC his junior year.
Yeah.
Well, it sucks for us at least. Y'all got a big ad today. Colton Vesk, I believe is how you pronounce his name, the kid from Austin Westlake.
Yeah, I always think of vasectomy, so I would say Vasek. I don't know why. Or Vasek. Vasek.
I say his name, but because he's never been in the conversation for us, at least. But yeah, I saw that he flipped from Oklahoma, a Big 12 rival, soon to be SEC also rival. I guess your second biggest rival in college football. What a hell of a flip for y'all.
Yeah. I think the writing was on the wall ever since that 49-0 blowout.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay with a team that does that. So I don't know. So I was hoping he would flip. There was rumors about it all year, so finally happened.
Well, he's a big Texas guy, isn't he? Like, his family went to UT or something like that?
I just know he went locally, so Westlake.
Yeah.
He know everything he knows is surrounding University of Texas, so it just makes sense, I think.
Well, literally, my summation of the Florida game went in with a halftime lead.
First half chance, literally, I was like, seriously, this duct taped together team is beating Florida at half. I was very surprised. I was like, Haynes King is
putting together some drives.
He's making passes. A-Chain's doing great rushing. If they keep the same game plan, Florida's going to lose to a horrible, horrible, very depleted team.
Yeah,
and then I don't know what happened.
The wheels fell off. I haven't been upset with DJ Durkin almost all year. I hate the 3-man front. I always have, but he switches to the 4-man front every now and then, and he switches back to the 3. He's back and forth with it. But the last 2 weeks his defense has gotten gashed on the rush, and that's what happened. All game, the quarterback was running out, and it's hard to stop Anthony Richardson. The guy's built like Cam Newton. I honestly think he is. If I comped him to anybody, it would be Cam Newton.
Yeah,
he may not have as good of a throwing arm as Cam, in my opinion, but that's the best comparison I could make. Big QB, huge dude. You can motor him through anyone. He's not afraid to lower his shoulder. He's fast. But yeah, it's 2 weeks in a row that A&M's given up I think 300 yards combined rushing. I think it's 700 yards total over the last 2 weeks just on the ground. And I don't know. We were getting gashed earlier on in the season when you see the 3-man down fronts and stuff, but we weren't allowing points to be scored. When you got to the red zone, Durkin was actually shutting down most offenses outside of Mississippi State. But that's been an issue all years. He's been getting gashed in the running game. Well, he's lost tons of defensive linemen, and he's lost linebackers. He was down one linebacker for half the season. Now he's down his second linebacker for the other half. And that's a position that we're really thin at, which makes the Anthony Hill loss suck even worse because that kid would have been an instant starter come next year. But, it's just is what it is. And then the second half, they just keep getting gashed, and then the offense falls apart. It seems like the offense didn't make any adjustments. Their defense adjusted for our offense, and we just could literally not get down the field. And when you can't keep up with them, and you're getting all these 3 and outs, I think I averaged it out in the second half. A&M averaged 12 yards per drive. And one of those drives was for 44 yards that ended in a fumble. And if you take that out, it's even worse. They're not even converting a first down every drive. It's just literally downs and punt, downs, punt. And it's just
damn.
I mean, the offense is stagnant.
Yeah.
It's what it's been all year, and except for the Ole Miss game, which I'm happy to get Connor Wakeman back going into Auburn this week.
Yeah.
Um, but so let's go ahead and start with next week, and I'll just go ahead and touch on this while I'm at it. I mean, with the income, with what happened last week, A&M's at now at 3-6, 6 losses. This is like the worst season A&M has had probably since 2008, I believe, with Mike Sherman. I think they went 4-8 that season. The biggest thing is like to hold this locker room together, and it seems like that's what's happening. Today on Twitter, just blow up after blow up. Players saying, Bobby Taylor was rumored to be transferring to Jackson State. He said, "Chill." Like he's like, "I'll just chill the hell out." And then somebody made a really good post about how he's rolling with the Aggies. I mean, of course, I'm an Aggie fan. I'm rolling with the Aggies all year. I'm down. Like obviously, like I did not expect or want this season like this. But Donovan Green was like, we're still together. We're all good. All this outside noise isn't really what's happening in the locker room. And if that's true, that's cool. If the freshman class, they are all getting snaps. Donovan Green's playing. The offensive linemen are playing. The defense, like we've started so many freshmen, they have to see this in themselves that they're like, if we take this as a year of experience, we can push this to next year and just get better. Like next year, they're going to be. You have these guys that are going to be like sophomores and redshirt sophomores. I mean, you could have a pretty damn good team next year, especially just the saying is for every freshman you start, that's a loss, and A&M is starting a ton of freshmen,
Yeah.
and we're taking a ton of losses.
It makes sense. That's why they say it.
But yeah, I mean, Evan Stewart posted today too, and he seems like he's all aboard with A&M, and I can't remember what the post said, but he was like, he agreed with the poster, and he was like, yeah, like we're gonna put this together, we're gonna figure it out, and I'm like, I'm behind him. Let's go. Like, if y'all are all together on this, and y'all just want to ride out the rest of the season and push it to next year, like, let's go. That's my biggest hope is that, I don't know what else to do at this point. Like I'm like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like I just I don't know what to do with my hopes and dreams of Aggie football. I guess I just push it off till next year.
Yeah.
And hope we win out. I guess this year to make a bowl.
I mean, it's still possible. So
yeah. So
don't count your bad chickens.
No, yeah. Don't throw out the good eggs.
Yeah.
So A&M goes into Auburn this weekend. Auburn is awful. They have fired their coach already. I think they fired their coach, their offensive coordinator, and maybe their defensive coordinator. They've had a ton of players at the transfer portal already, which also is another thing that gives me hope. A&M has had one player enter in the transfer portal, and it is a walk-on punter who's actually our soccer coach's son. But nonetheless, he's the only person to enter the portal at this point, and I mean that gives me hope. But Auburn's had a ton of players enter in the portal. It's going to be in Auburn. I doubt the crowd's going to be too hyped up about a 3-6 A&M team coming in.
Yeah.
Especially with all the stuff they got going on in their house. I don't know. Could be a good game for A&M. You could win this one, and then you play UMass next week. And God, I hope you beat UMass.
UMass is much, much worse than App State. There's no way. I'm sorry.
I believe they're the worst team in college football.
Even if everyone got the flu again and was out, it's not going to happen. There's no way.
So, and then you get LSU at home to end the season.
Yeah,
your bowl dreams.
Yeah, you'll be playing for a bowl eligibility, and they'll be playing like to go to the SEC championship. So
yeah, they probably will be.
Yeah, it'll be everyone will want to win that one. So
yeah, so it'll be a fun game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have any predictions for this game. I mean, A&M either wins or loses. I don't have any idea what's going to happen because there's just no telling. I didn't think Florida put 41 points on us. So yeah, I hope A&M wins. I think they have a great shot. I mean, this is a very depleted Auburn roster, so it would look very good for us to win and then go into UMass and win and then get that final push against LSU to just try to like pull it out, like get you into bowl season.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, college game day coming to Austin. TCU, the Purple People Eaters, coming to Austin.
I hate TCU. I'm hoping that there will be some sort of weird voodoo mojo witchcraft thing going on where it's like, Gary Patterson is for the Longhorns now. Like, we won't be able to play right in front of him. I don't know. I think it'll be weird with that.
I heard Gary isn't going to coach. Like, he's not going to actually be in the booth during that game. Is that a rumor or is that confirmed?
I haven't heard that. It's the same thing as all those other random A&M rumors about people leaving and stuff. Who knows who started it? I have no idea. I haven't heard it, so who knows? It could be true. I have no idea. But luckily, it's at home. If it was away, I would be much more concerned. I think it's very winnable. Their offense is great. They rank better than ours basically in every aspect. I think the worst thing about our offense compared to them is probably our field position. They have a pretty good field position. They rank 27th. I think we rank top 50 somewhere in there. But everything else, they're top 15 in EPA pass, rush, percent of first downs on first and second down, third and fourth down success. We're actually better than them, barely. So we have that going for us. We have a 43.7% third and fourth down success rate, and they have a 41.7. So barely better. But their offense is ahead of ours. But I think our defense might be a little better than theirs. So I'm hoping that helps in some way. And we're at home. We got that going. Game day, get everyone pumped. We're fighting to stay towards the path of the championship. They could lose like 2 more and still make it. So it's not that big of a game for them. I know they're ranked number 4 right now in the playoffs. So I think knowing that they're number 4 is going to help boost them up. So I was really hoping they would be like number 5 so that maybe they'd be pissed and just, not care that much but they're fighting to stay number 4. So
yeah, they want to stay in it.
So it's going to be a tough game. So Quinn was looking great against Kansas State, at least in the first half he was. So I need him to be great. Stay consistent. Don't be like he was against Oklahoma State. I need Bijan to get the ball a lot. Feed the man the rock. He was tearing up Kansas State. He only needs 169 more yards to pass Vince Young in career rushing yards. So he needs the record. So he's got that going for him. He needs a couple more 100 career-wise to pass like 2 more people. He's still nowhere near like Ricky Williams or anything. But, it would be great if he could like finish top 4 all time in rushing yards at Texas, top 3. But he would have to stay next year to make that concrete. But I think
that's not happening.
Yeah, he's too high in the draft. I don't see him staying. So I think he needs a great game. We need him. So feed the ball to Bijan. Quinn, make some passes. And I think the defense will take care of everything else. They caused 2 turnovers against Kansas State. Played great, so don't blow this, guys. Second half. Don't blow the second half. All I gotta say. That's all. Don't make me do a bunch of negative, mean, nasty tweets about sucking.
Nah, I mean, you're still good. I mean, from what we talked about before the season started, you were still, even with this loss, if you split the next 2, you're still ahead of schedule or near what we thought you would be.
Yeah, I thought 9-3. We have to win out to get that, but
I think I said
I wouldn't turn on my nose to 8-4 after being 5-7 last year. I would not.
I think I said 8-4 to start the year, and then as like the Big 12 started looking better, I was like, well, maybe 7-5 ain't a stretch because Kansas. It was after that Tech loss. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, you got Kansas State, TCU.
Yeah, that was back when like Baylor and Kansas State were both ranked.
Yeah, you had all these teams.
It was like 5 ranked teams in a row. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that's gonna be a rough ride right there. But y'all got Ewers back, and Bijan's like starting to carry the ball really effectively. The defense, I mean, the defense looks light years better than it did last year.
Yeah.
You're getting pressure on the quarterbacks up front, and the secondary is not. I don't think the secondary is causing as many turnovers as they used to back in the DBU days, but you're forcing quarterbacks to not complete passes in certain situations. Obviously, Spencer Sanders didn't have that much trouble, but you had the Iowa State wide receiver. You were giving the Iowa State wide receivers fits at certain points because they were even dropping wide open passes. This Texas game, I mean, y'all are favored by Vegas. Vegas got y'all favored right now by 6 points, I believe.
I don't know why. I really don't know why.
I mean, they had y'all favored last week, and I bet against y'all, and I lost money. So sometimes it's just not smart to fight Vegas.
Vegas knows.
Yeah, they know.
Weird things.
I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this game. I wish it was even, because then I would probably, if it was even, I would probably take Texas, or maybe if it was 3 points.
Yeah, so it's like yeah, if TCU wins, haha, screw them horns. But if Texas wins, it sucks, but I won some money, so it's like a win-win. Yeah.
So actually -7 right now. So
I would not take that.
I don't a touchdown. Texas winning by more than a touchdown. That's kind of hard to call because the TCU offense is great. Right. Max Duggan.
Yeah,
I mean,
I need Max Duggan to be off.
He's not Johnny Manziel, but the kids figured it out.
Yeah,
compared to what he used to have. Quentin Johnson, though. I mean, if your corners do not stay, if y'all don't double that man all night, he is going to make you pay. That kid's a top 10 pick next year for sure. Like, he is Bijan Robinson, wide receiver. He's just Bijan Robinson playing wide receiver. Like, he's that talented out there. Whatever NFL team ends up getting him, they're gonna love him because he just goes up and makes every grab that he can. He looks like a freaking tower. I wouldn't say Megatron-esque, but like the kid looks great. Yeah, defensively, TCU's not that great. They allow a lot of points. So this is like one of those games where, like, if Texas can put together some good scoring drives and not fall apart at the half, because TCU's shown their ability to come back. They did it against Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I said that earlier. They are a second half team.
Yeah. But yeah, Texas. If Texas can get all the pressure that they want on Max Duggan and rattle him around, it's gonna be a hell of a game. Honestly, like, I would like to actually check that one out. Actually, being here in Austin, if the tickets weren't $300 in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, it's stupid. Don't go.
Just go to the bar with everybody else.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. So playoff rankings came out tonight. Any surprises to you? I think pretty much everything checks out to me.
Yeah, the people who were supposed to go down went down. People who are supposed to go up went up. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, y'all rose to number 18 from number 24, I believe. Or was it 23 last week? I can't recall. And number 18 now, though. Where'd you go?
I don't know. There I am.
Rose up to number 18, though. Tulane's right in front of y'all. That's crazy. Tulane 8-1. I think they got that big win over Kansas State earlier in the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're this is like their best season since. I think this is the first time to be ranked since '98. Like, this is their best team in a long time, so it makes sense that they rank so high. Yeah, but I'm happy with 18. So.
Yeah, their best season since the 1939 Sugar Bowl. Clemson drops down to number 10 after a big loss. Bama drops down to number 9 after a big loss to LSU. That was a great game.
Yeah, that like as I saw that last play, I was like, I know Chance is so mad. Like this is now that's the play.
That's
Like
the That's the textbook conversion right
right,
there. The
that is the play.
that's the play.
And then you look at what Jimbo did. You're like, God damn it.
But then I go back and I look at like 2018 A&M versus Clemson,
Oh
and that's the exact play that Jimbo ran versus Clemson to get that 2 point conversion to tie it
yeah.
up, and it didn't work. Like everybody shifted to the right with Kellen Mond, and there was nobody to go to.
Uh,
And so I'm like, well, it works most of the time, you know.
yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, shoot, we've seen so many plays since that game that I'm just like, why didn't you do that? Like the Connor Wegman play against Ole Miss, where they looked like they were going to give it to A-Chain, and then he pulls it up and just throws a dart to Moose Muhammad in the middle. And I'm just like, why didn't you do that? Like, it
Right.
looked like you're stacking the line to run it, and then you just hit that guy right there. And then, I don't know, just stupid plays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not really surprised by anybody in the top 25 this week. Yeah, I thought TCU got put where they were supposed to be. Tennessee took a loss to Georgia. Georgia ended up where they are, and they're going to be there for a while as long as they don't lose to anyone out and throughout the rest of the season. I don't think they'll do that. So, de facto Big 12 championship for Texas this weekend, essentially.
Yeah. If we lose it, we're out. If we win it, we're still in it. So,
and if you win it, you're probably playing them again in Dallas.
right, which it's almost impossible to beat the same team twice. So,
yes. So that'll be a good matchup. So, announcement, I guess. We will be shifting after the football season. We'll be shifting to not 2 episodes, 1 episode bi-weekly. So we'll give you your baseball and basketball updates. So we're going to jump into the basketball portion of our episode today. It's going to be a really short one because there was only one game between both the schools and they were against scrubs. So, Kyle, what do you expect from Chris Beard this season?
Obviously, probably a top 5, top 6 seeded tournament team.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we get past as long as we get further than last year. Last year we got the big monkey off our back, won our first
won your first tournament game
in
like years,
a long time. And so if he can get to the third round, perfect. We're going in the right direction. So as long as we are decent seeded in the tournament, maybe even almost get a conference championship or at least play for one, I'd be happy with that too. Just win 2 tournament games and I will be happy. So
there we go. And are y'all competing for the Big 12 championship this year? Baylor's good. Kansas is probably good again.
Yeah. Well, we beat Kansas like 2 or 3 times last year, so
yeah,
I'm not worried about them anymore.
Okay. So Texas is going to compete for the Big 12 championship in basketball this year.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yes. Tech is good though.
You're not going to let Tech sell out the Moody Center.
I still can't believe that happened, but that's classic Tech shenanigans. So it makes sense that they did that.
I got to say the Moody Center looks pretty badass. We've been looking at concert tickets out there, and
I've only seen it from the outside. It wasn't. I wasn't allowed to go in when I was there in September because it wasn't like all the way done yet. So I haven't seen it on the inside, but I've heard it's awesome. So totally agree. But yeah, we're not playing. I mean, we're playing. We're playing Gonzaga in like a week.
Oh, y'all got them. Y'all are playing them again this year?
Yeah.
Y'all played them last year, and y'all almost won. I believe.
But I don't think they're as good this year. So I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. But I'm looking at our schedule. I'm like, I don't even know when we start playing like big teams. But
you got Gonzaga's number 2 this year.
Oh, I thought they weren't that
They're number 2 right now.
Okay,
so
well then
you got a big game early.
That'll be big. And then, we have nothing until.
But you got it at home.
Probably till conference play.
That'll be a huge game at home early in the season. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, the UTEP game was sold out, so I imagine if they should all be sold out this year. If that,
Yeah, I'm actually kind of jealous of your like A&M's. Honestly, I think A&M's going to go like something like 18-1 in their non-conference
yeah,
because it's just so weak.
yeah,
But I tell you what, y'all got a good non-conference schedule coming. I got Gonzaga coming up in here in I guess that's about a week, and then next month you play Creighton to start the month, and then the next week you play Illinois, who's a top 25 team right now. Um, and then after that, I mean, those are two big games relative
yeah,
to the. I mean, you're going to play what about I don't know, 15 more non-conference games, but I mean those are pretty big games. I mean, Creighton's a continual tournament team, and Illinois, I guess, is they've made the tournament quite a few times. But Gonzaga, that's a huge game next week. That'll be really fun to watch.
yeah. And I hope they show a lot of the stadium. I didn't get to watch the UTEP game, so I'm sure they did a bunch. But I wanted to see more.
I think I saw the opening, and it was pretty cool. Like on the upper part of the like, there's the dome, and then y'all have like these screens that come off the edges,
Yeah.
and they're kind of it's kind of like a trapezoid, and they flash hook'em horns
Oh, that's sweet.
on the top. I'm sure Texas Fight will be up there too and
Yeah.
stuff. But it was pretty cool. Like I was actually like, oh, that's pretty sweet because I want a new basketball stadium. I did not. I think Reed Arena is like just way behind its time.
Well, dude, we were in the Frank Irwin Center forever. That place was
Yeah,
ancient.
the
So
drum.
yeah. So yeah, I totally get that. Did you hear that the Texas and A&M women's soccer are playing in the tournament?
Oh yeah, we're hosting. They just announced the A&M is going to be a host. So are y'all coming to Y'all coming to College Station?
Yeah,
That'd be a hell of a game. I'll probably watch that one.
yeah, me too. We haven't been great in soccer in a long time.
Yeah,
So and we won the Big 12 this year for the first time since like '99. So we're finally decent.
yeah. A&M soccer team has been down the past 2 years. Couple during COVID, they made it to the championship, and they lost the last game, but they won the regular season, I believe. Or they may have split the regular season, but the last 2 years have not been just good to them. And this year they just had a really tough non-conference. I think they played like the hardest non-conference schedule in soccer this year. I keep up with them, but it's hard to keep up with them. They're not on TV all the time, you know.
Yeah.
um,
I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we get to finally play you in soccer because, like, as you know, I've tweeted about this many times, but like, in all sports, Texas is just whipping y'all. Except for some reason, y'all have the lead 5-19 in soccer against us. So I
well,
want. We need another win.
I don't know if you know this, but G. Guerreri, I think they said it was 500. He has 500 wins. He's like one of the most winningest coaches in college soccer now.
Yeah.
That happened a couple weeks ago. Yeah, but he was the one that started the program at A&M. He's been at A&M, I think, since I was born.
Wow.
Something like 20, 25 or 30 years or something like that.
Did not.
So yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, we are playing
that'll
y'all. We're playing y'all to start the tournament in College Station.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun to watch. Oh no, it's actually it's in Austin.
Oh really? I could have
Yeah.
sworn.
I thought it was in College Station.
Yeah, I
I saw the Twitter say that they were hosting. Apparently not. They're playing Texas in Austin.
Oh, okay. Well,
It'll be on the Longhorn Network at 5:00.
Hey, well, why don't you go make that one? I bet those tickets won't be $300.
Yeah, I probably actually might go do that. That actually kind of sounds fun.
That does. If I was in Austin right now, I would do that. That sounds fun.
It's on a Friday. Yeah, I could have fun on Friday. So anyway, back to basketball. Buzz Williams opens up his fourth season with Texas A&M, I believe.
Man, that's crazy. It's been this fourth season.
19, 20, 21. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was here in 19.
Damn.
Yeah, because he got stuck in COVID. And then after COVID started, the transfer portal like opened up, and we lost a lot of players to the portal. And he kind of just got screwed by the whole situation of I mean, it's just he gets here, COVID happens, half the season's over early, and then he plays during the COVID season, and they win like 8 games, and then last year was like his first year to play a full season with a team, and they were doing really well to start the season, and then come mid-season, the A&M went on an 8-game losing streak, and it looked like the season was just going to fall apart. And then all of a sudden, in the last 16 games, I believe A&M's won 13 of those 16 games, including the game that was played on Monday night. So the two of those games that they lost were the SEC championship game in the tournament, and then the NIT final. They lost the NIT final to I can't even remember, Xavier, I believe.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Like y'all were like one. I could have sworn y'all were gonna make the tournament.
I swore we were too, because
y'all's last like 10 games were just ridiculous.
Well,
like y'all were winning everything.
It was the tournament games. A&M goes into the SEC tournament, beats Arkansas, then beats Auburn. Like those are two like top 25 teams. Like they were great. Auburn was like a top 10 team at least. I mean, I swore A&M was like, after that Auburn win, I was like, we're in the tournament, no questions asked. And then we played Tennessee in the final, and I was like, well, if you beat Tennessee, you're automatically in. But I don't think if you put up a bad show, like you put a decent showing against a Tennessee team that they were in the top 5, you're gonna be in there. And they got gypped. No 2 cents around it. I think A&M got purely gypped last year, but I mean, don't lose 8 games in the middle of the season, and you may make it. So, but this year we got a better team. I watched Monday night. They're playing really good team ball. It's funny, like they're sitting there passing it around so much, and they're like you're feeding it to everyone. I'm like, well, eventually somebody's going to just get tripped up by one of these players. They're just going to take it to the hole. And one of the guys goes out, and he I think he was Obaski maybe, goes around and like fakes like he's going to do it behind the back, and then just brings it back forward and just dunks it on this guy. It's UL Monroe, so I'm just like sitting there watching just the scheme itself, because obviously competition is not that high. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to A&M basketball this year. I think A&M's got a really good shot to. I mean, this is a Buzz Williams type team. This is a team that he puts together. He wants them to play like a team. There's not going to be any 5-star players that are just going to, there's no Kevin Durant's playing around on the court. This isn't a Kentucky basketball team. They play team ball, and if they look better than they did last year, I think this team could very well make a run to the SEC title like they did last year. I don't know if they're going to win the regular season title, because you just have teams like Kentucky and Tennessee and stuff like that. But in a tournament setting, I think that this is a team that performs really well in a tournament setting. So I look at them to make a run in the SEC tournament, and then probably get a good solid spot into the NCAA tournament, maybe like a 6, 7, 8 seed.
Yeah. I do think Texas and A&M will both be decent this year, for sure.
So, all right, well, that's all we have for basketball. Season just started, so nothing to really dive into. Any closing remarks from you, Kyle?
Please play in the second half, Longhorns.
A&M, please show up. You got an easy game against Auburn. Just let them freshmen go to work. They're not freshmen anymore, really. So, all right, y'all. Well, that's all we got today. Glad to get this episode out to y'all early. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Sorry about last week. I know we didn't get a lot of views because posted so late, but stuff happens. So,
wait, I do want to say, the last time the Houston Astros won the World Series, this is a weird stat. A&M lost to Auburn and Texas lost to TCU.
Well, that does not boost my confidence, Kyle.
So, just saying, that's hilarious if we both lose. So,
no, I didn't need that, Kyle. All right, everyone. Well, y'all have a good night.
There's always a stat.
Enjoy your football. Enjoy your basketball. We'll get back to y'all next week. Gig 'em.
Hook 'em.